Hello, successful people. Welcome back to the Iron Fire Success channel. I'm DK.
And I'm Mo.
Thank you so much to our subscribers.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. In today's video, DK is going to share some places to chill aboard the Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas.
That's right. I'll share a few places where you could read or just get away from it all and relax.
Let's ride.
I'm going to quickly share 4 places for you to relax, chill, read, and get away from it all on the Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas, and stick around because I have a bonus tip at the end. I'm using this website, cruisedeckplans.com, that I love because this will give you not only pictures of the different locations on the ship, but also there's a date here. So you can see when this was last updated, as they do change the location of things on the ship. So as we scroll from the top all the way down to the back of the ship, you could see the icons there where there are pictures of rooms and other places. I clicked on the back here to see if there were any sun decks or balconies on the back. And if there are, I couldn't find any representation on this deck plan site. But the place I want to show you is at the very front of the ship on deck 14. So let's go back to that. I didn't see this when I was on the Oasis of the Seas myself, but I read about it. There is a sun deck at the very front of deck 14. And here there's only one photo, which isn't of the sun deck, but it's a photo taken from the sun deck overlooking the front of the ship. And this is a helipad that's on deck 7 that I heard is not somewhere where cruise passengers can get to. But I read that you can get to this sun deck at the front of deck 14 through a corridor on the port side of the ship, which is the left side in this picture. Next up is the Oasis of the Seas deck 15 and 16 Solarium. Let's take a quick look at the deck plan for deck 15 because there was a lot going on deck 15, and it is very difficult to find a quiet place anywhere, and you'll see what I mean. You have the main pools that are on deck 15, you have bars, you have kids areas, you have these 2 restaurants on either side of the ship, you have sports going on. So it is really hard to find a place on deck 15 if you just wanted to relax and chill, other than going to the adults only Solarium. The Solarium on the Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas is 2 levels. The first level of the Solarium is mostly places to sit, places to chill. As you can see in this photo, they have these wonderful kind of day beds, and it's a first come, first serve, stiff competition for these, you guys. But there is plenty of room on the Solarium. The Solarium is not fully enclosed, as you see here, like it is on some other ships. It's partially covered, and I don't know if that can be closed or if it's just not closed. But it was open like this the entire time we were on the cruise, which does provide for a nice, cool environment. And sometimes when you're on the Solarium, it could get a little bit windy if you're out at the main space. They have this pool, which is kind of small to me considering how big the Solarium is, but they do have this pool, which is heated in the adults only section. And they also have 2 hot tubs. Now, what I also appreciated about the Solarium is that there are plenty of places to sit. If you did want to eat, they have a Solarium bistro, and you can bring your food out here. Also, there were people who were getting food from the Loco Fresh Mexican restaurant that's also on deck 15, as well as Portside Barbecue, and they were bringing the food back into the Solarium area if it was during a time that the Solarium bistro was not open. You see that upper part, that's deck 16, which you can get to from a staircase when you're inside the Solarium. That is also part of the Solarium. But notice in this picture how that upper part is the only part that's covered. So one of the issues with chilling in the solarium is that unless you are inside the solarium bistro, which you see here, or unless you're on the part of the solarium on deck 16 by the bar, which is covered, you probably are going to be in the sun. Here's some video that we took on embarkation day. We went here, the bar was open on embarkation day. That's upstairs that you see there. And behind those curtains there is where the Solarium Bistro is. We also had a bite to eat because that was also open on embarkation day. And as you could see, we got our drinks, there was our stuff, and we were the only people in the solarium as far as we can see, except one couple that was already making use of the hot tub. There's also a good spot to chill on deck 5. So let's take a look at deck 5 on the Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas. We are going to go all the way back to the very back of the ship. Deck 5 is a very lively deck, as you see, with all these restaurants, and it's really that open plaza area. But if you go all the way to the back of deck 5, the running track goes around there. But as you can see, there's also chairs that sit around the edge of deck 5. And other than the folks that are using the running and walking track, there's really nobody back here. So if you're looking to find a spot to just sit and chill, maybe you wanted to read a book or make a telephone call and you didn't really want the amount of noise from the rest of deck 5, coming here to the very back of the jogging track on deck 5 is a fantastic place to just sit, chill, and it has amazing views as well. One thing to note about this location is that the Aqua Theater is on deck 6 on the other side, so that if there is a show going on or rehearsal, that may ruin the tranquility of deck 5, so just keep that in mind. Otherwise, it seems like a really good place to be able to come and chill, because as you could see, there's usually not a lot of people on the back of deck 5 at all. Now we're coming to deck 8. And deck 8 is where on one side of the ship, you'll see that there's this area called Central Park, which is this outdoor plaza that is beautiful. Now, this plaza isn't exactly total silence, but is a much more tranquil environment in general than a lot of other places on the ship. Because there's restaurants in Central Park, it's a lot more lively in the evening. But if you're looking for a nice, tranquil place to maybe go to the park cafe and have coffee in the morning, Central Park is a nice place to go. But I want to show you a place I found in Central Park called the Central Park Library. I could have walked past it, but I was looking to see where this was to see whether or not the library was going to have a lot of people in it, and if this was truly a place you can come, read, get away from it all, if you really just wanted to be in a completely quiet environment. And the answer is yes. We went by here twice when we were on board the Oasis of the Seas, and there was nobody in here. These are pictures from the cruisedeckplans.com site, and I'm going to show you some video from when we went into the Central Park Library, because now, unlike in these pictures where there's nothing in there are some books on the shelves that I think maybe passengers have left behind. It was nice and cool and quiet inside of this small library. They have comfortable chairs, they have books in here now, and when I looked a little bit closer at the book titles, I'm seeing that there's not a lot of these books that are in English. And I don't know whether it just needs passengers to come by here and donate books, but it does look like if you have your own book, it's a great place to come and read. They have outlets here if you need to plug in a laptop or have a quiet space to do some work. even take a telephone call. This is just a great place to come if you need somewhere on the ship where you don't have any background noise going on. I noticed they even had the daily trivia puzzles in here too for you to take. So maybe there are times during which people need to collect the trivia puzzles and there's more people in here just to get the trivia. The bonus tip I want to tell you about, I could not find on any map, and I did not see this on the Oasis of the Seas myself, but I read that there are balconies at the very back of the ship above the Aqua Theater on decks 11, 12, and 14 that are accessible from the cabin corridors. Drop a comment if you find these or other places to chill on the Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas. Thank you for joining us. I hope this gives you some places where you can chill and relax if you're aboard the Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas.
Please subscribe for more content about new home construction and model home tours in and around San Antonio.
And subscribe to continue to follow us as we continue to turn our new construction house into a home and give you cruise and travel tips too.
As always, until next time, be peaceful, stay prayerful, and count your blessings.